Okay, we will see how the selection sort algorithm works. In selection sort algorithm, the values are compared with each other and we try to find the minimum value in the array, and then we replace that value with the point with which we are comparing all different values. Let's say we start with 7. So at the moment, smallest value we see that it is 7. We consider that it is 7, or we assume that it is 7. So I compare 7 with 8. Now 8 is not less than 7. So I go to the next value, which is 5. Now 5 is less than 7. So it means 5 is the smallest value. So I can put 5 here, like I can keep a record of this value, that currently the smallest value is 5. Then I go to the next value, and then I again compare this next value with the smallest value. Again we see that 4 is less than 5. So my smallest value becomes 4. Then now again I go to the next value and compare it with the smallest value, which is 4. So 9 is not less than 4. So I leave that one. I go to the next value. I see that it is 2, which is less than 4. So I can record 2 as my smallest value. So once this finishes, I simply swap these two values. The current one that I was working with, the current index that I am on, or the current value that I have picked, I am going to swap that one with this one. So it means 2 comes here and 7 comes here. Okay, now this one is sorted. This part of the array is sorted. It means I am here now. So now my smallest value becomes 8. Now I compare 8 with 5. 5 is smaller. So my smaller value becomes 5. Now I am on this value 4. 4 I compare it with 5. So 4 is less and 5 is larger. So 4 is my smallest value. Now I come to 9. It is not less than 4. 7, it's not less than 4. It means I found my smallest value. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to swap 8 and 4. Now this part of the array is sorted. So we'll start from here, and our smallest value becomes 5. Now I compare 5 with 8. So 8 is not less than 5. So I move to next value. I compare the smallest value with 9. Again 9 is greater than 5. So I go to 7, which is also greater. Then I go to the next index, because this part once again it is sorted. So now I compare 8 with 9. Okay, before that we make this one as the smallest value, which is 8. Okay, now I compare 8 with 9, means I compare the smallest value with 9, and I see that 9 is greater, so there is no need to change that. Then I compare 8, or my smallest value, with 7. Now I see that 7 is less than 8, so my smallest value becomes 7. And the array is finished. We don't have more values. So what I can do, I can swap these two values now. So once again this part of the array is sorted. So I am on the next value. Now I say that this is my smallest value, 9. I compare 9 with 8 and I see that 8 is smaller than 9. So my smallest value becomes 8. And the array is finished, no more values, so I can swap these two values. Now you can see that all the values are sorted. Okay, now we will see how to implement this selection sort. Here we have our method, that is selection sort. Now let's see how the logic is implemented here. We have 2 for loops here. We will try to do the similar thing that we did here. Now the first thing that we keep note of is the smallest value index in this case. Now we will have our value on that index, but for the sake of programming, here we need to have the index of that value so that we can swap that value later. So we start with this one. Now if it is I is 0, so it means I should be 7. Now the second loop goes from I plus 1, which means that this is the value that we are going to compare with this one. So the first thing that we try to see here is if the value on the smallest value index, that is 7, is it greater than the current value that we have in the next index, that is j, meaning we are trying to compare 7 and 8. So we see that 8 is greater, right? This one is not, 7 is not greater than 8, so this area skips and it goes to the next value, that is 5. Now 5 is less than 7, so here we have 5 and here we have 7, so it means on the j index we have 5, while on the smallest value index we have 7. So simply what we are doing here, we are just trying to keep a note of that index that is the smallest at the moment. So smallest value index becomes j, which means it becomes the value of 5, that is 0, 1, 2. The index is 2 in this case. So it goes up again, j increases and picks up the next value, which is 4. Once again 4 is less than the smallest value, so it comes here and once again it will move the value of j to smallest value index. So we have the index of the smallest value, that is 4. Then again it goes up once again and it will keep on going on like that until it finishes the array, and at the end it will get the smallest value index as 2, index of 2, that is the last value, which can be, in this case we have 6 values, so that would be 5. So once it finishes this part, this for loop, the inner one, it comes here, and here we are going to swap the values, that is 2 and 7. 2 and 7. To swap values we need to have a temporary variable also, which is a smaller number. So the first thing that we do is we move the value on the smallest value index, which is 2. The value is 2. That 2 is moved to this smaller number. We are not changing the index, remember that. Then the value on the I index, that is 0 at the moment, which was 7. We move that one to array of smallest value index. Now this smallest value index is 5 at the moment, means here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So on that position we have moved the value 7. So 7 is here now. Now 2 is no more here, but we moved this value 2 to a new variable, which was a smaller number. So this part is finished. Now we are going to move this smaller number to array of I, means to the 0 index. This one comes here. So now this part of the array is sorted. The rest of it is not sorted. Now the next iteration starts, that would be I is equal to 1. Means it's going to start from here, while j is going to be I plus 1, which would be 2. And then it keeps going on like that. Once both the arrays, or once this for loop finishes, it means the array is sorted. So this is how you can implement the selection sort.